Hello, YouTube. I want to talk to you guys about a few things. Um, some things I've noticed is we've got people claiming to be Christians that do not follow the word in our community. And, I understand free will, and I understand people have the ability to form their own opinions and things like that. But the bottom line is, if you're a believer, you really need to be careful who you listen to, because not everyone that says they're Christians are Christians. Um, I had a little situation with a person, very very nice person, very pleasant person, but when it comes to the word, miles off, miles off. Um, they made a comment. They didn't believe in hell, that nobody was going to go to hell. And then I quoted the comments that they had said, and then they kept wiggling and moving and grooving and wiggling around. And so um, I just want to say that, nice doesn't get you to heaven. Obedience to the word and belief in Jesus Christ get you to heaven. And Jesus said, if you love him, you'll keep his commandments. And that means following what he says. And, how in the world can someone claim to be a Christian but not believe in hell when Jesus himself mentioned hell 15 separate times, uh, and there's many, many, many references in the Bible. So, and then you guys know I did the video a while back about the alleged pastor that said that Christians don't need to defend themselves, that God's going to do it all. And this in spite of the fact that in the Garden of Gethsemane, he explained to the apostles that it was time, and the disciples, it was time to get swords. And so the point I'm trying to make here is, I think it's time that we need to stand up for God. Not that he needs it, but we need to make a stand, make it clear which side of the fence we're on. Lukewarm does not get it. Believing part of the Bible and not the other part doesn't get it. And this was a pretty long conversation I had with this person. And the comments were made that I'm sure we've heard all along. Well, it was mistranslated, or that's their opinion, or they didn't know Hebrew, etc., etc. All these excuses. Yet they did not give me one single instance, not one as an example, something that I could talk with them about. Just general, accusations that is not accurate. Now, it is true that a lot of the modern day translations, such as the NIV, have taken entire sentences. I've heard entire paragraphs out of the Bible. Off the top of my head, I think it's published by Zondervan, and I think Warren Buffett owns that, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it Buffett, or what's the other guy? Murdoch. Maybe it's Rupert Murdoch. Anyway, satanic organization. So you got to be careful what scriptures you use. Me, I'm a King James guy, but because I find that the most accurate. But I brought up a point. Well, if you don't believe in the King James, uh, to be accurate, even though I explained to them about uh, gematria values and things like that. Uh, and then they came up, well, that was Kabbalist and all that. Well, just because Kabbalists studied gematria doesn't mean that gematria itself is in error. So, you know, I went through all the logical steps that a person could possibly go through, try to prove a point, and they just slithering around and wiggling and just didn't want to see it, didn't want to see the truth. So I just wanted to put a warning out for you guys that you got to be careful who you affiliate with, or how much stock you put in to other people. Just because they say that they're Christian does not mean that they believe everything that's in this book right here. Okay, so this is where it is. This is what we're going to be judged by. So it you know, basically they ended up unsubscribing to my channel, and I ended up unsubscribing to their channel because chemistry wasn't right. And then they try to build a case like I think I'm all righteous and holier than thou and everything, and that's not it. That's not it at all. Um, to the contrary, I know what a worthless, hopelessly lost sinner I was before Jesus saved me. And I still know I've got a lot of work to do. I do my very best to see myself like Paul did, the chief of sinners, because there's not much out there in the world that goes on that I didn't do. I had the yachts and the boats and the girls and the toys and the money and I been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. So, to make all these false accusations without any kind of support is just ludicrous. So I really think that it's time that true Christians are going to stand up. So if you notice here on the screen, I've taken the liberty to just type something in. I want to go over with you guys. Some of you guys probably know this, but I want to go over how easy it is to find things. And David talked about how he buried the word in his heart. And so if something happens and you don't have the Bible, I mean, it's in your heart. So that's what I do. I'm not really great at quoting chapter and verse, but I know what the word says. And so I can go to a search engine, I can type in something like this. Who will stand up for me? The Bible. And what do you get? You get Psalm 94 here. Okay, so you go to Psalm 94. Now I've taken the time to, go ahead and pull this up for you. And like I said, I'm a King James guy. You can use different translations, but my advice is if you're going to use a different translation, one that's a little bit easier to read, that you always compare it to the standard. But getting back to what I was saying before, I think I got off track. This person was trying to say that King James wasn't accurate. And I said, okay, well, what about the Dead Sea Scrolls? Because they were around before Christ. And, written before Christ. So, at least a lot of them, such as the book of Isaiah as an example. And, they didn't want to go there. They didn't want to hear it. Their mind is made up, but yet the point I'm trying to make is this person comes off like the sweetest person you could ever imagine. And I really liked them. I really, really liked them and still do. But obviously, we've got some problems. And so, we're going to be judged by every word in this book. every word. Isn't that what Jesus said? So you can't just tear pages out of the word. You can't say, "Well, I don't believe that. That's got to be a bad translation. Let's just rip that sucker out and get rid of it." It doesn't work that way. And the God that spoke the universe into existence, don't you think He's very capable of getting us, an unmolested word? Um, he said, "If you seek, you'll find." So that means we'll find it if we seek it. It's available. It didn't say make it up as you go. Um, so, that's one of the main things that I wanted to talk to you about, because what is coming, I mean, we're in the middle of a massive spiritual battle right now. I'm sure you guys have heard that Obama's heading to Jerusalem and he's going to show up the same day Christ did. Now, you guys think that's by accident? Don't think so. Also, Johnny Clack has done a lot of work. I mean, I give the guy major kudos on the work that he's done. If you guys haven't seen his videos, I really suggest you check them out. He's a pre-tribber, though, and you guys know me, I'm not a pre-tribber. I would love to be wrong on that one. I mean, I'd love to get out of here now, because this place stinks. But, the bottom line is, it's not the way I read it. When Matthew 13 says that the tares are going to be taken first, first means first. It doesn't mean second, doesn't mean third, doesn't mean, last. And speaking of last, it also says we're not going to get out of here until the last day. And that's after the sun goes dark and the moon turns red. Okay? Like blood. After the tribulation, the last day. And it talks about, all the persecution that the church is going to go through. And it says if it wasn't for the elect's sake, there'd be no flesh left alive. So I mean, I could just go on and on and on and on about that. But, you guys interested in that? I mean, I've got playlists that you really might consider looking at. One is Daniel's timeline and no pre-trib rapture. Now, I can't guarantee you that the Daniel's timeline is completely accurate, but it looks good and it looks very well thought out. And it's talking right around something major happening March 20th, 21st, 22nd, right in there. And then we've got the Skull and Bones, 322. We've got the Dark Knight, booth up there where it said 322. So we've got all these supposed symbols. I don't know if they're just playing mind games with our heads or it's really true, But the bottom line is that what I do know is true is this book. I know this book is true. And that's what I base my faith on. So, and that's where I put my trust. And I don't put my trust in anything else but this book. Not anybody else. This book. This is what it's about, because we're going to be judged by the things written in this book. Isn't that what Revelation says? The books were opened, and that we were going to be judged by the things written in the books. So, what kind of things do you think are written in there? How well we complied with the commandments, what we were supposed to do, obviously, right? So, how can we be judged if we haven't been given clear instructions, accurate instructions? People need to think. Where is the critical thinking today? Okay? Again, let me refer you back to the videos, the playlists that I have. I'm not like most YouTube people. I don't download other people's videos and then upload them and tag them as mine. That seems to be the law of the land. To me, it's stealing. That's just me. Okay? Not my style. I know I could get a lot more videos. I mean, I can't even tell you how many videos I've got. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos downloaded. They're not mine. I didn't make them. The only videos you'll see on my site or on this channel is the ones I make, unless somebody specifically gives me instructions. Hey, please duplicate this, you know, and you can re-upload it. That's just me. Not condemning anybody or anything. It just that's how I roll. Straight up, straight arrow. So, getting back to the playlist, I've got playlist on there. Let's just take a look here. Let's see. You know, anything from talking about Obama to false teachers to coming financial storms, Second Amendment issues, law enforcement issues, how Obama's destroying America, 42 separate videos there. We've been sold out on some things. This thing with China is getting real funky. I just read some, you know, Obama's giving China a bunch of oil now. You know, they're unloading their dollars as fast as they can, and they're trying to get as many assets as they can from us. Don't get me wrong, I'm not racist. My wife is Filipino. My computer geek is Chinese. My service manager who works with me is Hispanic. You know, hey, I'm colorblind. We all bleed red, okay? But I think we're going to have some real problems with China. So here is a list of, well, these are the ones that I've updated, so, or I've uploaded. So I'm not really a big tech guy, but we'll get through this. See if I can stop this before it gets going. All right, so, you know, we've got false teachers. You guys just go in here and look. And I've screened these, you know, in my opinion, based on my experience. There's good stuff here. All right. There's 21, almost 22 hours of videos here. And here's another thing you might want to note is YouTube keeps playing with my views. They say one view. Come on, give me a break. I sit and watch these things go up and down like seesaws. So, you know, I don't know. But no pre-trib raptures. Just take a look. Here we go. I don't know. This thing is going to start. But Second Amendment issues, the coming storm, end time signs, financial collapse, transhumanism. This is a big one. I mean, what do you think all these GMO foods are about? What do you think all these chemtrails are about? Even vaccines. You guys really need to know this stuff. Here's some stuff on 9/11. Really, really good stuff. Done a lot of work here to try to help you guys out, weed through a bunch of the garbage that's on the net, and I've tried to pick the cream of the crop for you. Here's, you know, one of my favorite topics, sons of God and the Nephilim, who I believe are among us now, hybrids right now. There's just so much wickedness in the world today, and you know, it just seems so obvious that these supposed human beings are, you know, they're working hard to destroy humanity. I mean, what is this about? What human being kills babies? What kind of human being uses predator drones and blows up kids? I mean, I heard 2 7-year-old boys got toasted just today, or within the last 24 hours over that. So, I mean, it's sad. And there's so much hate now towards America because of things that our leaders have authorized and done, and all the lies. I mean, look at Iraq. I mean, weapons of mass destruction. Oh, really? You know, where are they? Did you guys see the joke that Bush did about that? Ain't no weapons of mass destruction over here, and the whole crowd's laughing and everything like that's funny. Like we invade a sovereign nation on false pretenses to go over and steal their natural resources, oil being one, but there's a lot more, because you're talking about an area of Mesopotamia over there in that area, and they found a Vimana over there, and there's UFO technology over there, and so governments are running around. I mean, Hitler did this, running around the world trying to gather up all this UFO technology, and that's where a lot of the stuff that we use today as weaponry originated. So you'll find a lot of the information on my site about that. Tom Horn's research into the Catholic Church. I mean, the Pope just quit, and good stuff there. Russ Dizdar, the spiritual issues, how to fight demonic presence. They're real. You might want to take a look at his as an example. I mean, just video after video, 36 separate videos, pushing 80 hours of videos here. I really, really strongly suggest you guys get into that, especially the Black Awakening. Very, very important stuff here. Also, Steve Quayle's materials, very, very good. So, I won't keep you too much longer here, but I just wanted to go over this. I wanted to caution you about who you put your faith in, who you align yourself with, and just because someone says they're Christian does not mean they're Christian. And again, I'm not trying to come off like I'm some super saint, because I'm not. I've got my own issues, and I've got my own stress and everything else that I deal with, but I do worry a lot. I do worry a lot about folks, and I'm constantly struggling and straining and trying to figure out how to help people. Get as close as they can to the Lord and educate them so they can educate others, because what's coming is going to be so bad. When Jesus said, tribulation is the world has never known, you really need to think about that. Think about that. The world has never known. Think about how bad it's been in the past. It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be brutal, and you're gonna need to be spiritually aligned with Jesus, because I'm guaranteeing you that's the only way you're gonna be able to survive. So, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I guess it's kind of a little mini rant, but I'm just very concerned about you guys. And I do care, and I do love you within the scope of my ability to love. I don't know. I don't think I ever make it, to be honest with you, the way Jesus loves. But I'm trying. I'm really trying, folks. So, give me your comments. Give me your suggestions. And let's see what we can do about making the world a better place. And let's try and keep it honest. Let's try and I don't know, keep it right. So, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And you guys take care, and God bless. Okay? Thank you.